everybody? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, I want to talk. We got to talk Earl Spence Jr., man. Coming off, you know, the most devastating loss of his career, the only loss of his career. Um, but it was a knockout. It was a knockout loss. And when you lose like that, the way Earl Spence lost to Terrence Crawford, you start thinking about a lot of things around you, especially the small things, the minute things, the people that are there for you, the people that, got your back, the people that's gonna stand up for you. Um, I just think right now Derrick James, has a lot of fighters, and to me, I just think that Derrick James is, he's cashing out. I mean, he has some fighters, and Earl Spence is, towards the end of his career, some would say, and you know, Derrick James has been putting a lot of focus on his other fighters. I'm not saying that Earl Spence is not his number one fighter and stuff like that. But I mean, shit, if even if Earl Spence is your number one fighter and you got 5, 10 fighters, you know what I'm saying? They still need their time too. You know, smash that like button and subscribe. And right now, man, Earl Spence, he has a lot on his mind. He's got a lot on his plate. He's got a lot on his mind. You know, but I know money isn't one of them. And I know for a fact money isn't one of them. He's straight with in that department. But as far as getting these getting these training sessions in, you know, getting prepared for Terrence Crawford is a big task. You know what I'm saying? Um, and who's to say that Earl Spence doesn't go back and fight Terrence Crawford next without a tune-up fight? You know, after eye surgery, after all these different things, he still fights Terrence Crawford, because right now, Terrence Crawford hasn't announced his next fight to me. I haven't heard anything in concrete that he's fighting this guy next. You know, I think that right now, Terrence Crawford is, you know, I just think he's resting. I think he's, still training, still, not as hard, you know, not as hard, but he's still in some type of shape. I've been seeing him make appearances here and there, and he's staying in some type of shape. He's not ballooning up in between fights. Like I see a lot of fighters do. But there's a reason why Terrence Crawford has gotten to this point, um, to being the number one welterweight in the entire world of boxing. There's a reason why. The discipline. You know, no matter if Earl Spence has Derrick James or not, he still has to be disciplined. We know he has had, run-ins with drinking and stuff like that, and we know he's had, run-ins with, smoking here and there. You know, not saying he does either one every day. Not saying that, but we've heard that, that's what he likes to do, from time to time. So I just feel like right now, you know, Earl Spence needs to look at Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. And but like I said, this is Corey Lee Boxing. I can't tell Earl Spence at the end of the day what to do. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be his decision. It's going to be his choice, and it's looking like he's made his choice. And it's not going to be with Derrick James. So, some people are throwing out, Calvin Ford out there. Some people are saying that, possible Calvin Ford um, from out there in the Baltimore area and the DC area as well too. Um, Calvin Ford is a hell of a coach. You know, definitely one of my top three, if not definitely one of my top five, if not top three coaches. You know what I'm saying? In the game right now. You know, I think Coach Calvin is still, you know, I don't know. I just think Calvin Ford has that work ethic, that he instills in everyone around him. You know what I'm saying? I just think that I think that Coach Calvin Ford is, I think he's a good leader. You know, and I think he stands on what he believes in. Not saying Derrick James doesn't, but I'm just saying, man, Calvin Ford is a different breed, man. You know what I'm saying? He's out there with the young kids. He's out there, at these amateur tournaments. You know what I'm saying? He still got his foot in the amateur circuit as well. You know what I'm saying? Coming out successful too. So I just feel like, Coach Calvin Ford is definitely a good fighter. I mean, excuse me, a good coach. Um, I mean, I know he wanted to fight Rolly Ramiro's coach. They almost had that fight. Smash that like button, man. I'm telling you a lot of shit right now. Real facts though. You know what I mean? Coach Calvin is in shape enough where he thought he could beat Bullet. And I mean, I'm not saying he couldn't beat Bullet, which is, Rolly Ramiro's former head coach that he got rid of. Um, well, no, I can't even say that he got rid of, you know, can't even say that 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 Bullet got rid of excuse me, that Rolly Ramiro got rid of Bullet. Bullet got rid of Rolly Ramiro from what Bullet says. You know, he did an interview a couple weeks ago about, why they stopped working and stuff like that. And, he's not a yes man. And a lot of these fighters need to understand when they get a lot of money. This goes for Errol Spence too. I mean, listen, man. When these fighters start touching real money, like millions of dollars, you know, things change, man. Things change. Let's just be honest. Things change. And when you're in the fight game, you know what I'm saying, you gotta move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is you gotta do things that the top fighters are doing. You need to do things that the top elite fighters are doing. You know what I'm saying? Partying is not one of them. You rely on your body to be, you know what I'm saying? That's your work. I mean, your body is literally your work. I mean, everybody goes to work. Everybody has a mind. Everybody has to, get money the way they got to get money. But do people, another grown man is physically punching you, and you're willing to risk that. You know what I'm saying? By going out drinking, going out smoking, going out, doing that thing. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I'm, you know, out here just, but I am saying, you know, I don't know. I just feel like some of these fighters, when they get to that top, you know what I'm saying, they start thinking different. They start moving different. You know, and there's listen, there's nothing wrong with that. But use it in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Use it where you're training more, or use it where you're focused on the boxing more, because this is not only your life. It's almost like you gotta you if you're in the boxing game, if you're a professional boxer and you get paid to fight, You have to be a fighter whether you're in the ring or out of the ring. And that might go over a lot of you people heads, but I'm just gonna say what it is. This space is Corley boxing, man. We not here to sugarcoat not one thing. And you know, when you're outside of the fucking ring, you gotta carry yourself like a fucking champion, even if you're not a champion. And what I mean by a real champion is that you're a fighter and you're a boxer 365. You know what I'm saying? A year. Per year. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear that this fighter did this or this fighter did that, and and look at him, he's still no. Terrence Crawford visibly tells you guys he throws block parties with all of these, you know, his neighbors in his neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Fireworks, all that shit. Every time, every time that he shows that he does shit like that, he's fucking sober as shit. I mean, I haven't caught Terrence Crawford slipping yet, to be honest with you. I'm just gonna call a spade, man. I haven't caught my man slipping yet. And I mean, this is my job. This is one of my jobs. You know what I mean? It's Corey Lee boxing. And if I'm gonna if I'm gonna talk one way about one fighter, I gotta do it all the way across the board. You know what I'm saying? I can't be out here saying Errol Spence is getting drunk, you know what I mean? And, doing this and doing that. And I can't say that. And then I just skip and don't say that about another fighter. No. I'm gonna call it what it is. You know what I mean? Terrence Crawford has been a boxer and a fighter through and through. You know, he's been a fighter and a boxer through and through. He's done an awesome, amazing job. And yeah, man. So, like I said, moving forward, we're gonna see how this goes. It looks like Derrick James is out. Um, and I just think right now, man, for this to be for Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence to fight. First of all, Earl Spence, I'm I'm not saying I'm 100% sure, but it's very unlikely that he's gonna go right into a Terrence Crawford fight with a brand new, trainer. I just don't see that happening. I could be wrong. I'll be the first one to do a live stream and say I'm wrong, or I'll say it in one of my live streams. But right now, man, Terrence Crawford is number one welterweight in the world. Earl Spence, has to get it together. I don't think firing. I mean, listen, we don't know what his reasoning is because I just don't feel like I haven't heard the interview where he's done one where he's saying the reasoning and all of this. And like I said, man, I just really would if Earl Spence is gonna switch trainers, he needs to be looking at a coach that is gonna hold him accountable. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. Number two, he needs to be teachable. And number three, you need to be a fucking boxer in and outside the ring. But I mean, how do you say that with a guy that, I'm not saying Earl Spence didn't have anything when he was growing up. He did have things. But how can you say that from a guy that, you know, was making, well under, you know, 60,000 a year, you know what I'm saying, coming up. And I just think that Earl Spence, he's a millionaire now. You know what I'm saying? For sure. And I just think that right now, and I think he's gonna be good because he's putting his money in good places. He's put his money in property, and he's got property in Jamaica. He's got, property in Texas. And like I said, man, Earl Spence is not a dummy, by any means. And, I can't wait to hear what he's got to say about it, you know. But let me know what you guys think about it. Do you guys think that Earl Spence, leaving Derrick James is a smart move? Let me know in the comment section. Please smash that like button and subscribe. This is Corey Lee Boxing, and we're back with another banger. Peace out, you guys.